and welcome to episode 107, the second episode we've done as a married couple.
Oh,
The Queen.
Wonder how long that's going to go for.
So in today's episode, we're discussing 5 online business models.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk a bit about the online business models you can do, because of the last episode we talked about the niche and the product for your business, and then so today we're going to actually focus on the business model. Once you've sorted that niche and product, just how you're going to actually sell that product into the market. Okay, so we'll also go through we're going to go through those business models with examples of where you can sell for each model. Okay, so number 1, physical products. So if you've got a physical product that you want to sell, that's the first business model, and basically there's a few options of how you can do it. You can drop ship it, or you can sell it on your own. So drop shipping, for those that don't know, is when you actually sell a product that is made by someone else. They send it from their factory or warehouse to the customer. So all you're doing is the front end side of it. You're selling the product, and then the order goes to them, and they deal with the process from there on in to get the product to the customer. Okay, so when you're doing your own e-commerce store, you're generally dealing with all of that side of it. So obviously there's more cost and effort for you to do that in e-commerce, but there's also more profitability. So when you drop ship, the margins are reasonably small. So a couple of things to bear in mind. The other one is Amazon, obviously a massive marketplace, but great for physical products, and multiple ways you can sell on Amazon. You can send product into their FBA warehouses, and they effectively send it out like a drop shipping model for you once they make a sale, or you can send the product yourself. So that's called merchant fulfilled. So where you're holding the product in your warehouse, you take the order on Amazon and you send it out to the customer. So there's a couple of options there. There's a few other wider options for physical products which people are getting into, but probably aren't as well known as Amazon and other likes of Etsy. So if you've got sort of any of the crafty sort of stores like paintings or homemade crafts or anything crafty seems to be Etsy's sort of area of expertise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some good stuff on there though. We've spent a bit of time on Etsy. And then, eBay's another one that's been around for a long time, similar to Amazon. And I mentioned last episode Gumroad. That's another one which is starting to come up a bit, mainly for digital products, but also you can sell physical products on there. So plenty of platforms to be able to sell physical products on. So that is one business model that you can choose. So obviously a physical product is a physical product that you're going to manufacture and sell. Okay, the second business model is digital products. So digital products are obviously a digital download or digital, digital, I guess, bit of software or that you can use. So with the digital products, you're talking about things like books. So for example, Kindle books or an ebook or a guide or even a report. So there's plenty of digital products you can do. And it honestly depends on your on the niche and things that you've chosen. So, if you've chosen a niche that it might be fishing, but you want to write about fishing, you don't want to sell a product as such. You might be an expert fisherman, and you sell guides on how to do a certain type of fishing or where to go in your local state to go and find good fishing spots and things like that. So you might write guides for fishing and sell those guides for $5 or $10 a download. And that would be an example of a digital product.
Yeah. And I feel like the world's gone more like that. Like everybody's using Kindles and things. So it'd probably be a little bit silly to start doing it, like making that into a book at this.
Yeah.
I know people still buy books.
They do.
And do still read physical books. But a lot of a lot of people have got into Kindles and using Kindles now and things. And
Yeah.
although it's a cheaper way of getting it, you'd have to sell your product cheaper, obviously.
You do, but you're not having to produce it either.
Yeah.
You produce it once and then you sell it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Whereas with a book, you've got to physically have it printed at a printer, and you know, there's all, like, a book turns into a physical product then, and so you're going through all that whole fulfillment thing where you've got to send it out to the customer, and you know, so digital products generally are sold a bit cheaper because of that fact. You can make them once,
but are way more accessible for people too,
exactly, way more accessible, and that's why they're so popular. So digital products are definitely worth looking into. And again, you can sell them on your own website. You can go as simple as just a landing page. You don't even need a full website. And then you've got things, platforms like Gumroad again, who, you know, they focus on digital product selling. So again, what we mentioned last time in the last episode 106, was if you're starting out either in physical or digital products, and I'll go through this again because it's a really important point. You know, you've got 3 things you need to do when you're selling something, and that you need a product, you need a platform, and you need traffic. When you're starting out, make it easy on yourself. Work on the product, use someone else's platform, and use someone else's traffic. So, for example, Amazon. Even if you're doing a Kindle book, you can still sell that on Amazon. Or if you're making fishing poles, you can sell those on Amazon as a physical product. Focus on the product, use Amazon's platform, and use Amazon's use Amazon's traffic. You won't make as much profit. I was getting too far ahead of myself, getting tongue-tied. You won't make as much profit on those sorts of platforms because obviously Amazon are doing those other 2 tasks for you. Whereas on an e-commerce store of your own, you're having to do those tasks so you can make more profit. But, you know, when you're starting out, make it easy on yourself. Okay. So the third business model we want to run through is service or software. So basically this is in terms of you're providing a service for someone. So you're consulting, you know, your skills and experience. So you could be a, you know, like you could be a developer expert. So you could consult to people about developing their websites, or you could be a fishing expert. And so you could sell your time by doing online webinars, or, you know, any of that sort of stuff where you're selling yourself and your experience and skills in some format, normally in a talking or spoken format. And, you know, the other one is obviously software. So, you know, platform to serve the software. So you'll need, if you're going to develop a software that helps people, you know, need a platform to serve that to the customers. And then, you know, you might think about, you know, building your own platform rather than doing it on a existing platform. It depends what the software is. But it's if you're doing a software, it's a biggie to go for, because you've got to develop the thing, you've got to test it, then you've got to launch it. So it's probably one of the hardest ones to jump into as a business model, because of the technicalities behind it. So whereas, say for example, service, you know, if you're consulting, you can do that via Zoom or Slack. So it's quite easy, you know, it's quite easy to get set up and connect with people. So those 2, the service and software, is the third business model. And we've sort of grouped these together to create the 5. They sort of cross over a bit sometimes, but basically they are the 5. These are our 5 main ones. So the 4th one is content and blogging. So basically it's written text about anything that's interesting, you know, and so that could be, again, harping back to my fishing niche, you know, that's about, you know, you could be writing about fishing techniques like we talked about before, but you're putting it on your website, okay? And so people can come and just read that for free. So how does that make you money? Well, AdSense. So you can run advertising on your website, because people are coming to it, they'll click on the adverts that run down the sides. We've seen them, you know.
So like affiliate link.
No, that's so you for your advertising. So when you go on a website and you see products along the sides of them, and so that's basically where you've gone on to a shopping website, and then all of a sudden they're retargeting you. No matter what website you go on, if they're running ads, you can see that all of a sudden that shopping website you're on, all of a sudden starts popping up on all these other websites. So it's quite intelligent. You get distracted, and that's why ads work. So you can physically build up a content blog, which has just got cool information about fishing, and you'll get people coming to it. They will eventually click on your ads because they're ads about stuff that they actually have looked at before.
So then you get money for people clicking on your ad.
You do get money for people clicking on your ads. So that's the AdSense model. When I say AdSense, that's Google. There are obviously other ad platforms like Ezoic, etc. that you can use, but AdSense is the main one that people go for. And then to go on to a point that Emily just made, affiliate links. So in your content, you can recommend products. So you're talking about fishing, you can recommend a fishing product that's sold by someone else, and you have a link to that person as part of an affiliate arrangement. If the person clicks on that link and the other website makes a sale of that fishing product, that website will then pay you a small commission for referring that customer to them. So that's the real.
So you're doing a bit of both of them. You could do both of those.
You can do both of those, absolutely. You can couple them up. You can advertising on your site, and you can have affiliate links. And I would definitely suggest to do both. But you need traffic, obviously, for that model to work. You need traffic coming, because you need traffic to click on your ads, and you need traffic to click on your affiliate links. The other way of doing it is a membership to access. So like medium.com, where that's basically a blog site where people can load up their blogs, and you can start reading their blogs, but you need to pay for the premium content. And so the people that are writing those premium articles and loading them on Medium get paid by Medium for anyone that's read the premium content side of it. So you can have a membership sort of paywall on your website, or utilize someone else's like Medium. So again, the platforms for that would be, your common ones, WordPress, Wix, Weebly, or you can do it on someone else's platform, as I said, like Medium. Okay, so the fifth business model is influencer. So this is where we're talking about YouTube and Instagram. Okay, so you see these YouTubers and stuff, you think, oh geez, they've got 1 million or 2 million followers or 30 million followers or whatever, and they're just talking about stuff that are, it's interesting stuff. It might, I don't know, whatever they do.
Where they're just doing
silly dances or whatever. So you think, well, how can that make you money? Well, what they end up doing, and you'll see this once they've got a good following, they start to filter merchandise and promotion of brands through their channel. And they'll also, once they've got a good following, they can then run adverts. So like what we talked about just before with AdSense, with YouTube, if you've got enough followers, I think you need 1,000 followers and 4,000 views to actually be able to start advertising on YouTube, because Google owns YouTube. So basically Google will allow you to run ads with your with your videos. And that's the way these guys are making money. And when you've got 1 million followers and you're posting a new video, you're going to get, say, half of them or even a quarter of them following that or watching some of that video. That's 250,000 people looking at one ad that pops up. So you can imagine that can start getting pretty profitable. So that's why you see these people like on TikTok making these crazy videos and starting to get a following. It's all about being an influencer and getting a following, and then they monetize that following down the track once they've got a huge amount of people watching them.
Yeah. And most of them started on some other platform and got these followers first, or are they starting off with nothing?
No, some of them can do that. Like most of them will cross-purpose with their platform. So you'll find a YouTuber will also possibly be on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah.
Most of them will have a broad social media following, and that way you do cross-purpose. So they will get followers following them on all of their channels. And sometimes it is easier, they like for Twitter, for example, they might run adverts and actually get a following through running adverts about whatever they're talking about, and then that following follows them to YouTube and so on. I mean, it's a matrix of ways you could do it. But, it's all about getting the numbers, really, getting the number of people watching you. Okay, so there are our 5 main business models. Now, I think the key thing to note about this, a lot of the time with the product and the niche you choose will dictate what business model you go with. So whatever you're choosing is sort of will fit with the business model. For example, you choose a fishing pole, it's probably going to fit into the physical product business model. It's not going to fit into the digital product business model, because it's a physical product. So a lot of the time, whatever product you choose will dictate that. And also remember, there is some crossover between them. So, for example, what we talked about with, the digital product, writing an ebook about, or a guide about, where to go fishing in your state, that could also be done as a content blog on a website. So they do cross over. And
could also be done as a physical book product as well.
As a book, so exactly.
You could actually do all of those.
Yeah. So what you can do is, if you, for example, if you did an ebook on fishing and you made it quite a big ebook and it was quite successful, you could then turn that to a printed book and sell it as a physical product, as a printed book on Amazon. But it would have to be successful to do that. And vice versa. If you had a physical book and it was being read well or sold well on Amazon as a novel, you could then turn that into a digital product and sell it as a Kindle or ebook. So there's ways to tweak this all over the show. But the 5 main business models we've talked through today. I suppose you can also cross over with the way you do the way you set up your business model. So, for example, if you've got a WordPress site as a blogging site, you can also load those same articles onto medium.com. Okay, so you're utilizing one piece of content twice on 2 different platforms, your own platform and on Medium. Same thing with selling physical products. If you're selling fishing poles on Amazon, don't just sell them on Amazon, sell them on eBay, sell them on Walmart. So what you're doing, you're diversifying your marketplace for people to come and buy your products. Because remember, people that buy stuff on Walmart don't necessarily buy stuff on Amazon, and vice versa. They can be quite what would you call it? I guess brand loyal, in terms of they're loyal to Amazon or they're loyal to Walmart. So you can, if you're selling on all of those 3 platforms, Amazon, eBay, and Walmart, you're actually selling to different customer bases. So don't think you're selling to the same customer, because a lot of the time they're simply not shopping.
It probably gives you a bit of status as well. Like if you see a product across various places. Then you just want to, if you're going to do that, make sure you get your pricing consistent over those platforms, because you don't want to undercut one on the other. So you need to do a bit of work around your pricing, because they'll all charge different margins with those platforms. So look, that's about all we've got time for today in episode 107. Before we go, we've got a new service which we're promoting at the moment, which is a due diligence service. So what due diligence is, if you haven't heard the term before, it's basically research into a business to see whether it's worth buying or not. Okay, so what we're doing, and this is kind of down in those areas of where if you're going to start a business and you don't want to start it from afresh and you want to buy a website, service we're offering is we'll do a due diligence report on the website that you're going to buy, and basically we go through and look at the strengths, weaknesses, threats and opportunities of that website, and we'll give you a recommendation of whether we think that website's worth you spending your money on, and so we'll give you a valuation of what we think the suitable buy price would be for it, so you can tell if you're being ripped off or not by the seller. And we'll also look for any problems and any opportunities with it. So we'll list all that out in a nice tidy report for you.
Yeah.
So that's a new service we're offering on our website, emilyandblair.com. We'll put the links to that in our show notes. If you've got any questions about anything in our contact form, you can directly email us on our website. But yeah, if you like this video on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, a comment, or a subscribe to our YouTube channel. Otherwise, we'll look forward to seeing you guys in episode 108.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Bye. Bye.